Muslim girl left an entire debate hall stunned, not with raised voices or heated arguments, but with nothing more than a single drop of Zamzam water. There was no shouting, no confrontation, just one sacred drop, and suddenly no one knew how to respond. The hall was bright, filled with a quiet but electric tension. Two figures stood on stage. One was bold, sharp-tongued, and assertive. The other was calm, steady, and composed. Every eye was fixed on them, waiting for what would unfold next. The atheist woman stepped forward, her expression smug and confident. "If your God truly exists," she said, "why didn't he just create all humans the same? Same face, same skin, same design. Wouldn't that have been more efficient?" A low murmur rippled through the crowd, but the Muslim girl stood still, unfazed. She drew a breath and answered softly, yet clearly, "Because Allah is not the engineer of identical machines. He is Al-Khaliq, the creator of boundless originality. Where you see inefficiency, I see divine creativity." She took a step toward the center of the stage and held up a small laminated card. "This is a fingerprint, just one. There are over 8 billion people alive today, and yet not a single one, not even identical twins, shares the same fingerprint. We use this tiny pattern of skin to unlock our phones, to cross borders, to prove our identity. Something so small, yet so uniquely ours." She paused and looked around the silent hall. "Now ask yourself, who designed this? Blind chance, or the one who knows you better than you know yourself?" Behind her, a verse lit up the screen. "We will show them our signs within themselves." Quran 41:53. Not a single voice dared to speak. The mood in the hall shifted. The audience leaned in, gripped by a new kind of silence. But the atheist woman wasn't done. She narrowed her eyes and spoke again, her tone sharp and mocking. "So you say your God sees everything? Then where is he? Why can't we see him?" A few chuckles stirred across the room. The Muslim girl stepped forward again, undisturbed. Her eyes were serene, her voice gentle but unshakable. "Just because you cannot see him doesn't mean he's not watching." She raised a remote and pressed a button. The screen behind them switched to a drone's view, an aerial shot of a city. Cars moved, people walked, buildings stood still beneath the quiet watch of the lens. This footage was taken by a drone flying hundreds of feet above. It sees everything, every movement, every street, yet not a single person on the ground sees the drone. She paused for a moment. The drone sees without being seen. Now imagine the one who created not just one city, but every city, not just one moment, but every moment. You say you don't see him, but you live every breath under his gaze. He does not need to descend to be present. He is above all, beyond all, watching, always. The screen faded to black. Silence again gripped the room. The woman who had questioned so boldly now stood without a word. But she wasn't done yet. The lights dimmed slightly. A cosmic image flickered to life behind them, a swirling galaxy with a haunting, dark center. The atheist woman smirked, stepping forward once more. "If God is real, then where is he? We've sent satellites, telescopes, probes into the skies, and guess what? There's nothing there. Just stars and silence." Laughter broke out in parts of the audience. The Muslim girl turned toward the screen, her gaze calm. She took a slow, deliberate step toward the microphone. "And yet," she said, "the deeper we look into the universe, the more our eyes tremble." She raised a hand and pointed to the black center of the galaxy on the screen. "This is a black hole. It emits no light, no sound. It cannot be seen, and yet it pulls stars, planets, even light itself, into its grasp. Scientists only discovered it by observing how it affects the things around it." She turned to face her opponent directly. "You cannot see it. You cannot touch it. but you study it, fear it, respect its power. Now tell me, why is it so hard to believe that the one who created such forces exists beyond your instruments? The hall grew still once again. God does not exist inside the universe. The universe exists within his command. Behind her, the image of the black hole remained, dark, immense, unstoppable. So too was the strength of her reply. The screen shifted again, this time showing a glowing, vibrant helix of DNA twisting slowly. The atheist adjusted her mic, her voice edged with scientific certainty. We are made of DNA, chemical codes, no divine fingerprint, just molecules and mutations. Religion had its time. Now we have genetics. A soft wave of approval passed through parts of the audience. The Muslim girl stepped forward, her gaze fixed on the swirling double helix above her. Yes, she said, DNA. 4 simple letters, A, T, C, G. And from those 4 come every living thing. Humans, animals, trees, even the bacteria on your skin. She began, W. Humans, animals, trees, even the bacteria on your skin. She began walking slowly across the stage. It's a code, a language, a script written line by line, cell by cell, billions of lines long, and every single person's is unique. She stopped and turned to the audience. You say it's random, but tell me, show me a single random code that writes itself. Your phone's software didn't program itself. A single page of code needs a mind behind it. But DNA, infinitely more complex, is just an accident? The crowd was quiet now. If DNA is a language, then who wrote it? The screen behind her displayed the DNA strand unwinding, then folding back together again, like it too was listening. The one who created life left his signature in every single cell, not with a pen, but with precision and beauty. She stepped back into the spotlight, and for a moment, even science paused. The atmosphere deepened. The questions were heavier now. The atheist leaned forward, arms crossed, voice low but curious. You keep talking about the soul, but where is it? We've cut open bodies, scanned brains, studied neurons. No one's ever found a soul. Some heads nodded around the room, but the Muslim girl didn't rush to respond. Instead, she stepped forward slowly. Her tone was soft, her eyes steady. Let me ask you something, she said. Have you ever experienced sleep paralysis? Whispers swept through the audience. That strange moment, she continued, when your mind is fully awake, but your body won't move. You try to scream, but no sound comes out. You feel trapped, fully alive, completely aware, but frozen inside yourself. And helpless. She let the silence deepen, allowing the weight of that memory to settle over the room. Science might call it a neurological glitch, she said gently, but the experience, it reaches far beyond nerve endings. It's the moment you realize there's something inside you that isn't just flesh or bone. The lights in the hall dimmed as a slow-motion reenactment played on the screen behind her. A person lying still, eyes wide open, unable to move. You say there's no such thing as a soul, she continued, but when your body refuses to respond, what's still awake inside of you? She took a thoughtful step back. It's not dreaming. It's not breath. It's not even motion. It's something else entirely. She paused, then recited, It is Allah who takes the souls at the time of their death, and those that do not die during their sleep. Quran 39:42. The room was quiet once more, not with tension, but reflection. The light shifted, revealing an image of the blazing sun glowing on the screen behind her. The atheist woman stepped forward with a half smile and asked, You say your God is glorious and all-powerful, so why does he hide? Why stay invisible if he wants us to believe? Laughter broke softly through the hall. But the Muslim girl didn't waver. Calmly, she reached into her bag and pulled out a pair of eclipse glasses. She walked toward the screen and raised them. "Have you ever tried looking directly at the sun without these?" she asked. "It burns. It blinds you. And yet, it's just one star out of billions, just a creation." She turned back to the crowd, holding their attention. "Now imagine the creator of that sun. Do you really believe the eyes that flinch at a flashlight could endure the radiance of his majesty?" The room hushed. She held up the glasses again. "You need these," she said, "just to glance at a fraction of his work. To face him, you'll need more than tools. You'll need humility." Behind her, the screen changed to a solar eclipse. The world darkened, with only a thin halo of light around the blackened sun. Eyes do not perceive him, but he perceives all eyes. Quran 6:103, God does not hide. He protects you from what your senses can't survive. Now there was no laughter, only stillness. The image behind them shifted once more. An aerial view of a graveyard, rows upon rows of identical plots stretching to the horizon. The atheist woman crossed her arms. "You speak of Judgment Day as if it's a certainty. But once people die, that's it. The grave is the end. No one comes back. No one tells us what happens." Some heads nodded in silent agreement. The Muslim girl stepped forward, not with defiance, but calm. She gestured to the screen. "From up here, every grave looks the same. You can't see names. No wealth is visible. No titles, no crowns. Just silence. Just earth." She paused. But beneath every grave lies a unique story. A billionaire next to a beggar, a ruler beside a refugee, all wrapped in the same cloth, all facing the same direction, all waiting. The room was hushed now. "We polish our resumes for job interviews," she said, "but how many of us prepare for the meeting with the one who never missed a single heartbeat?" The screen zoomed in slowly on one plain grave, untouched, unmarked, surrounded by silence. "Death isn't the end, it's the return. And this," she gestured, "this is just..." And in that moment, the darkness held its glow. Now the screen displayed colorful sound waves, vibrant lines pulsing in silence. The atheist woman leaned forward. "You speak of prayers, the soul, feelings, all invisible things. If we can't measure them, touch them, or see them, why believe they're real?" She crossed her arms as if the argument had landed, but the Muslim girl simply smiled. "Let me show you something." She pointed at the sound waves on screen. "This isn't sound itself, but the trace of it, the pattern, the presence." She walked slowly across the stage. "When you speak, you don't see the words, but they exist. They move through air. They land on ears. They touch hearts." The crowd leaned forward, quiet. "If someone says, 'I love you' or 'I hate you,' you can't see the sentence, but you feel it. It shapes you." She stopped. "Some things are real not because they can be held, but because they can be felt. Some of the most powerful forces in life are the ones we cannot see, like sound, emotion, pain, healing, and prayer." On the screen, a visual of a whisper transformed into a glowing wave. "We measure sound by the way it moves us, not by its shape," she said. "So why is the soul doubted simply because it's subtle?" She turned to the audience. "The Quran says, 'He knows what is within the hearts,' 67:3. What you cannot see may be the truest part of who you are." The room was still, yet the silence felt charged, almost alive. Slowly, the screen shifted to show a blank document. Then, words began appearing in rapid succession, typed across the page. The atheist woman faced the Muslim girl, her voice steady and direct. "Why do I need religion if I already live a good life? I help others. I don't lie or steal. Why do I need God's validation?" Some in the audience nodded in agreement. The Muslim girl said nothing. Instead, she walked to the screen and pressed a single key. The display went black. She turned back to the room. You wrote so much, but you didn't save it. A quiet realization swept through the hall. Being good is beautiful. It's essential. But if you never connect your goodness to the one who gave you life, where will it go? The screen came back on, but the document was gone. You built a life of good deeds, but you never pressed save, with intention, with faith. On the day of judgment, it's not just about what you did, it's about who you did it for. She looked gently across the crowd. We pray not just to remember God, but so He remembers us. The screen showed a verse. Whoever hopes to meet their Lord, let them do good and not associate anyone in worship. 18:110. Without intention, without belief, goodness might touch people, but it never reaches heaven. For a moment, goodness without God felt somehow incomplete. A high-resolution image of a handful of dates in an open palm appeared on screen. The atheist woman raised an eyebrow. You religious people cling to rituals, dates, headscarves, ancient customs. It's outdated. The world's moved on. A murmur rippled through the audience, but the Muslim girl walked calmly to the center, a soft smile forming. She held up a single date. Let's talk about this fruit, she began. In the desert, where nothing grows, where there's no water, God chose this to thrive. The date grows where no other fruit survives. She faced the audience. It nourishes, it heals, it stores for years. And when the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, broke his fast, this is what he began with. She paused. Fast forward to today. Nutritionists call it a superfood. It supports the heart, the brain, the body. It regulates blood sugar and restores energy in seconds. A new slide appeared displaying scientific data confirming these benefits. So tell me, was this just tradition or divine wisdom that science finally caught up with? She continued, the Quran mentions dates not because they are Arab culture, but because even the simplest gift from God carries wisdom we can't always see. The silence lingered, outdated or timeless. Now the screen displayed a vast desert, still and golden, with a lone camel walking gracefully across it. The atheist woman scoffed lightly. You quote the Quran like it's all divine, but sometimes it's just strange. It literally tells people to look at camels. What's the point? Some chuckled, but the Muslim girl stepped forward without hesitation. Yes, the Quran says, do they not look at the camel and how it was created? 88:17. She gestured to the screen. Do you know why? Images zoomed in, its nostrils, its eyes, its feet. This creature can go weeks without water. It stores fat, not water, to regulate temperature. Its nose closes to block sand. Its eyelashes are double-layered. It walks across scorching sand like it's floating. Her voice was steady. This isn't just a creature, it's engineering. She turned to the atheist. The Quran didn't say worship the camel. It said, look at it. Reflect. Who made it so perfect for one of the harshes? Silence fell, not from doubt, but from realization. The screen lit up again. A mother held her child, whispering softly, wiping away tears. The atheist woman stepped forward. Her voice was softer this time. If your God is so merciful, why so much pain? If He truly loved us, wouldn't He stop the suffering? The question lingered in the air. The Muslim girl stepped toward the center. Her hands were folded gently. Have you ever seen a mother take something away from her child to protect them? The screen showed a child crying as his mother pulled away scissors, gave him bitter medicine, or scolded him for running into the street. The child sees cruelty, but the mother knows mercy. She paused. Allah's mercy is greater than the mercy of 70 mothers. We feel pain, not because He is absent, but because we can't always recognize His presence. A long breath. When we bleed, we remember who heals. When we fall, we remember who lifts. And when no one else holds us, we remember the one who always does. Another verse, my mercy encompasses all things. Quran 7:156. Her voice dropped to a whisper. If a mother never stops loving her child, do you really think your Creator ever stops loving you? This time the silence felt like an embrace. The screen showed an ancient tree. Thick trunk, branches like arms stretching upward, deep roots anchoring it through time. The atheist woman raised her eyebrows. Islam is like that tree, old, stiff, outdated. The world's changing, but your faith is stuck. Some nodded. The Muslim girl walked slowly toward the image. Her voice was gentle. Sure. Yes, it is an old tree. But do you know why it still stands? She pointed to the roots. Because its foundation is deep. Because it's weathered every storm. Because its shade still comforts. Its fruit still nourishes. Children played beneath it. An elder prayed in its shadow. Birds nested in its branches. Not everything old is obsolete. Some things endure because they are true. We chase modernity, she continued, but we forget what made us human. Patience, discipline, humility, purpose, all taught by this tree, all taught by this deen. Then she quoted, a good word is like a good tree, firm in the ground, and its branches reaching the sky. Quran 14:24. Some uproot their values every decade, but this tree still gives shade. The audience saw the old tree wasn't standing still, it was standing tall. Now the screen showed something small, a single raindrop falling, quiet, precise. It touched the dry earth, and life followed. Rain, the atheist said, is just the water cycle, evaporation, condensation, gravity, nothing miraculous. The Muslim girl waited, then stepped forward. Yes, rain follows a cycle. But have you ever thought about how perfect it is? The image zoomed out, billions of raindrops, landing exactly where they were meant to, across forests, deserts, seas. Not too much, not too little. The Quran says, and we sent down water from the sky in a measured amount. Quran 23:18. She paused. Measured, not random. Sent, not spilled. One drop can bring a dead plant back to life. Why doubt the one who brings hearts back to life the same way? The image showed a flower blooming with a single touch of rain, and hearts bloomed quietly with it. Then the screen cut to a hospital monitor, beeping, life. Then, flatline. One long tone, silence. The atheist woman spoke. Life is just biology. Atoms, neurons. Once the brain dies, it's over. No soul, no afterlife, just nothing. The Muslim girl didn't argue. She pointed at the still screen. That sound, that line, is the sound of everything ending. No more breath, no more movement. Your name remains, but you're no longer here. She turned. Doctors can't bring you back. Machines can't restart the soul, because what left wasn't just air, it was permission. She quoted, every soul shall taste death, then to us you will return. Quran 29:57. The screen showed a monitor now covered by a white sheet. Science can measure the heartbeat, she said, but it can't measure the soul that carried it. You think death is the end, but death is proof something greater kept you alive in the first place. A mirror fogged up. A hand reached forward and wiped away the mist. A face appeared. The atheist leaned in. If your religion is true, why don't more people see it? Why isn't it clear? The Muslim girl turned to the mirror. This is truth, she said. When the mirror fogs, the reflection is still there. You just can't see it. Your heart is like that, fogged by anger, pride, pain. Until you wipe it clean, the truth looks blurry. She recited, indeed, it is not the eyes that go blind, but the hearts. Quran 22:46. So maybe the question isn't, where's the truth? Maybe it's, what's fogging your mirror? Now, milk being poured into a glass. The atheist smirked. It's just milk, nothing sacred. The Muslim girl smiled slightly. Yes, but where does it come from? The screen.